Alright, now let's see how the game is played. Remember that each team has to win 2 out of 3 hands. If they win 2 out of 3 hands, they get 1 point. Initially, 1 point. Now let's say that Mr. Lifeline is going to start, and he shows a queen. Not much. Serpentor responds with an ace. An ace is better than a queen. Then Storm Shadow shows a 2. A 2 is also better than an ace. But Mr. Sci-Fi responds with a 3 and takes the first hand. Because he won the first hand, Mr. Sci-Fi starts the second hand and shows a 7. Not much. Lifeline shows a 5. Now remember I told you about the manilha? Well, this is a manilha. Since the 4 is being shown face up, the 5 is manilha. So all 5s are better than 3s, 2s, aces, and so on. But remember that among the 4 cards, they also have power. Now this one, this manilha I'm showing you right now, is the weakest one, right? The manilha of diamonds. It's the weakest one. It loses from all the others. Mr. Serpentor is going to show the 5 of clubs. Now this is the best manilha of all. That beats every card in this game. So in this situation, no matter what Storm Shadow shows, it's going to be weaker than the 5 of clubs. And there we go. So Serpentor won this hand. It's 1-1. Serpentor, as the best card, shows now a 3. Now, to beat that 3, they only can show a 5. Storm Shadow shows a king. He doesn't have what it takes. Sci-Fi doesn't need to beat his own partner, so he shows a 4. It's all in Lifeline's hand. If he doesn't have a 5, he will lose. But he does have a 5. It's the 5 of hearts, the second highest card in the whole game. So Lifeline and Storm Shadow win this first play, and they get 1 point. For all of you who do not quite understand the rule of the manilha, let's see again. Now, as I told you, always the card facing up tells you that the next card is the manilha. Let's suppose that the king is the card facing up. That means all 4 aces are the manilhas. Now, there is no tie in the manilhas. They always have a power over each other. The highest card of all the deck now is the ace of clubs. It beats them all. Second highest card is the ace of hearts. It also beats all the other cards except the ace of clubs. Then the ace of spades, third highest card, and then the ace of diamonds, fourth highest card. Then we have the 3s, the 2s, the kings, the jacks, and so on. Now, we're going to play a second game, a second play, so that you can see why the game is called Truco, T-R-U-C-O. There's a reason why it's called that way. And we're also going to see what happens when the game ties. And that's pretty much what you need to know right now. Alright, now, this is the second play. And remember, it's 1-0 to the red team of Lifeline and Storm Shadow. Now, the card facing up is the 7, which means that the manilhas are all the queens. Alright then. Now, our dear Storm Shadow will begin with a 5. Sci-Fi responds with a 4. Not much responsive. Lifeline wants to win this first hand, so he puts a 2. Serpentor doesn't have what it takes to win the hand, but he can draw the hand and puts another 2. Now, when a draw happens, there is no third hand. Whoever wins the second hand wins the point. Now, why is the game called Truco? Very simple. Serpentor is going to show a jack, not much. Now Mr. Storm Shadow here, being quite the badass, thinks he can win the hand. I can win the hand. So he's going to yell truco. Truco! When somebody yells truco at the table, it means that they want this hand to be worth 3 points and not only 1. Okay then, Mr. Sci-Fi has 3 possibilities. 1, he can choose to forfeit the game and give the other pair 1 point for free. He can accept the truco and then the hand is worth 3 points, or he can be extra bold and yell seis. Seis in Portuguese means 6, which means he's now saying, no, I am going to win this hand and I want it to be worth 6 points. Wow, alright. Now, if he does that, and let's suppose he did that. Let's suppose Mr. Sci-Fi yelled 6 or 6, and now the game can be worth 6 points. Mr. Storm Shadow now has 3 decisions to make. 1, he forfeits the game and gives the green duo, 3 points for free. He chooses to play the hand, or he can yell 9, which means 9. Let's not go there. Let's just say that Mr. Storm Shadow chooses to play the hand. Remember now, it's the highest of his cards. He sees his cards, he has an ace, and he has a queen of diamonds. This is the 4th highest card in the deck. That gives him a good chance of winning this hand and 6 points. He shows the queen of diamonds, but Mr. Sci-Fi has a queen of hearts. It shows the queen of hearts. There is almost no possibility of him losing the game, only if one of the other players has a queen of clubs, which is the highest card in this moment of the game. Mr. Lifeline doesn't have the queen of clubs, and Serpentor doesn't have the queen of clubs, which means Sci-Fi won the hand, 6 points for his team, and now the game is 6-1. That is basically it. The only thing I need to say is that if the game reaches 11 points, then the 2 players in each team, the winning team, the team that has 11 points, can trade cards and see what the other one is holding. Remember, all throughout the game they cannot see each other's cards. They can only see their own. But if they reach 11 points, they can do that. Alright? And that is truco for all of you out there. I hope you understood it. It's a little complicated and there are a lot of other small rules. But with those, you can already play a little bit.